Okay, in this presentation we are going to look at the negative binomial distribution, and in this particular presentation we're going to look at it in the context of being a Poisson-gamma distribution mixture. Okay, so this comes up quite a lot in actuarial exams and actuarial applications. So let's read the question here. The number of claims in a year for an insured from a large group of insured is modeled by the following model. Okay, so we have this probability distribution here. And just looking at it, you can tell pretty quickly that that is a Poisson distribution. Probability of x equals x given lambda equals e to the minus lambda times lambda to the power of x over x factorial, where x equals 0, 1, 2, 3, and so on. Now, the parameter lambda varies from insured to insured. So this is where the gamma distribution comes in. So we have to just double check that. But anyway, so far so good. However, it is known that lambda is modeled by the following probability density function. Now just note that this is actually given in terms of lambda there. So g of lambda equals 62.5 times lambda to the power of 2 times e to the minus 5 lambda, where lambda is greater than 0. Okay, so this is the actual question here. Okay, this is the question that we're going to be asked. Now we're given all the pieces of information, but this is the question. Given that a randomly selected insured has at least one claim, determine the probability that the insured has more than one claim. Okay, so we'll come to that when the time comes. Essentially what we have to do is just in the first instance demonstrate that this is a Poisson-gamma distribution, a mixture distribution, and formulate the correct negative binomial distribution, and then just work from there. Okay, so the PDF of the gamma distribution, now remember this is in terms of x here, so f of x equals lambda to the power of alpha over the gamma function of alpha, that's essentially going to work out as constant, times x to the power of alpha minus 1 times e to the minus lambda x. Okay, I just pause it there briefly so I can demonstrate what I plan to do. So essentially I'm just going to rewrite the above function in terms of x. So I'm going to transform from lambda to x. So I have g of x equals 62.5 times x squared times e to the minus 5x. Okay, now down here I have the PDF of the gamma distribution. The arguments are alpha and lambda. That's just the general form of them there. Okay, so I'm going to sort of keep consistent with that. So these lack of consistencies on notation are just part of the course. So just by inspection, by just comparing the components here, so e to the minus lambda x, just compare it to that. So the parameter of the gamma distribution here is 5. Okay, lambda is equal to 5. Alpha necessarily is probably going to is equal to 3. Okay, so the shape parameter alpha is equal to 3. The rate parameter lambda is equal to 5. Okay, and what we can do is just double check the coefficient there. Lambda to the power of alpha over the gamma function of alpha, that is 5 cubed divided by 2 factorial. 125 divided by 2, that is 62.5. So that checks out. Okay, that what we have here is a gamma distribution. Okay, so we can move on now. So what we could do is state the Poisson-gamma mixture as a negative binomial distribution. Okay, now there's there's multiple formats of the negative binomial distribution. So there's one that particularly fits the Poisson-gamma distribution, and it's this one up here. So essentially what we have determined is lambda and alpha, and essentially this is the form of the negative binomial distribution that we use when we are working with a Poisson-gamma mixture. This is essentially a binomial coefficient, and this is, straightforward fractions here. Okay, the p and 1 minus p essentially. Okay, so lambda divided by 1 plus lambda to the power of alpha times 1 over 1 plus lambda to the power of k, for k equals 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, all the way up to infinity. So we know that alpha is equal to 3 and lambda is equal to 5. Okay, so essentially what we can do is restate the formula here, the probability density function of the negative binomial distribution, using those arguments there to simplify things a lot. The probability of x equal to k equals 3 plus k minus 1, and from that choose k. So binomial coefficients. This is essentially the tough part here. Lambda divided by lambda plus, or 1 plus lambda to the power of alpha, that becomes 5 divided by 1 plus 5 to the power of 3. That is going to stay consistent the whole way through. Okay, so we're happy with that. Now this term also stays fairly consistent over here. It's just it varies for different powers of k, so just go up and down according to whichever power of k that we are using. So this part here is the key part that requires a bit of calculation each step. This one here, the binomial coefficient. Okay. Oh yeah. Okay. So we can simplify there. The probability of x equal to k equals from k plus 2 choose k times 5 over 6 to the power of 3 times 1 over 6 to the power of k. All right. For k equals 0 to infinity, essentially. Okay. So just a sort of quick remark about calculating binomial coefficients. It's sort of worth your while to get revise everything to do with binomial coefficients and how to calculate them. So just as a quick remark, the binomial coefficient of a and b is equal to the binomial coefficient of a and a minus b. Okay, that should come to you fairly quickly. So essentially we can state the binomial coefficient of k plus 2 and k as k plus 2 and 2. And we can rewrite it as follows. That's k plus 2 times k plus 1 divided by 2 times 1. Okay. Now, if you're not sure where this came from, that's something to just get the hang of. Okay. Elsewhere, we're not going to do that here, but essentially that's the key thing there. If you don't understand how we got from here to here, just revise binomial coefficients. Okay. Now, so what we have to do is calculate the probability of x equals 0. So we got a couple of questions, one particular question, but it will require us to, well, start off with calculate the probability of x equals 0. Okay, so the probability of x equals 0 is 0 plus 2, binomial coefficient of 0 plus 2 and 0, which is going to be automatically equal to 1. 5 over 6 to the power of 3, that's going to stay consistent the whole way through, and 1 over 6 to the power of 0, that is also going to be 1, because anything to the power of 0 is 1. That will work out to be 5 over 6 to the power of 3, and that is 125 divided by 216. Okay, so we started off, but let's actually just go up and read what the question is. Given that this is the question again, given that a randomly selected insured has at least one claim, determine the probability that there is more than one claim. Okay. So we're going to have to keep going with this. So therefore the probability of at least one claim is the probability of x greater than equal to 1 is essentially the complement of no claims. Okay. So that's how we get there. Probability of x greater than or equal to 1 equals 1 minus the probability of no claims, 125 divided by 216. That works out to be 91 divided by 216. Now, I'm going to just sort of rewrite that as 182 divided by 432. Just sort of save that for later. Okay, we don't really immediately see the necessity of that step, but we will soon enough. I'm just going to step back a second. Previously, we found the probability of x equal to 0 as 125 divided by 216. I'm just going to state that as 250 divided by 432 as well, just to make the arithmetic easy to follow. Okay, so what we have to do is go back down here now. What we have to do here is calculate the probability of x equal to 1. So we have the formula here using the PDF from before. Okay, probability of x equal to 1. So from 1 plus 2, so essentially from 3, choose 1. Okay, so from 3 choose 1, we should be able to manage that. again, 5 over 6 to the power of 3. And here k is equal to 1, so 1 over 6 to the power of k is 1 over 6 to the power of 1. That means the probability of x equal to 1 equals 3 times 5 over 6 to the power of 3 times 1 over 6. That is equal to 125 divided by 432. So we also know that the probability of x equals 0 is 250 divided by 432. So probability of more than one claim is the probability of x greater than or equal to 2. That is the complement of the probability of x equal to 0, 250 divided by 432, and the probability of x equal to 1, that is 125 divided by 432. So add them up, we should get 375 divided by 432. The complement of that, 1 minus 375 divided by 432, that gives us 57 divided by 432. So again, the question asks us, given that a randomly selected insured has at least one claim, determine the probability that the insured has more than one claim. So essentially this is what we're asked here. The calculation becomes the probability of x greater than or equal to 2 given that x is greater than or equal to 1. That can be expressed as the probability of x greater than or equal to 2 divided by the probability of x greater than or equal to 1. That is 57 divided by 432 divided by 182 divided by 432. So those cancel out. We left with 57 over 182, and that is 0.31318. So that's the question that we were specifically asked, this one here. There was a good bit of work involved, starting with the gamma distribution, deducing the parameters of the gamma distribution, and then putting those parameters into the appropriate form of the negative binomial distribution. So essentially, this was the hard work here, okay? Getting that part done. Getting the value for alpha and lambda, and then putting it in there. But once we had that, it was straightforward, really. Okay, so we'll leave it there.